Okay, I figured I'd do a video on the Uponor PEX plumbing, which is, I believe, the first generation of PEX plumbing to come out. I have it in my home as an upgrade from PVC, and I just want to explain one of the problems that you have with them. Repeated problems. So if you think you fixed the problem by tightening a connection, think again. I'm going to show you what happens when you believe that to be the case. These are the original fittings, seals inside these Uponor connectors. You can see them here. They're nothing but basically a garden hose seal, in my opinion. Now these seals are the newer generation of seals that you'll find in these PEX fittings. So what you have to do on the connectors, you have to remove these old seals, and they get brittle and tore up and go bad and leak, and then put in these conical seals. These conical seals I got from George Moreland Plumbing. I don't know if this will help anybody. There you go. South Carolina makes them. And that's a much better seal if you take a look here than that. Now let me show you what's going on here. Shut this fan off. So what happened when I moved in to this house, there was a valve body here. The original plastic, cheapo, manufactured home valve body. Like, I've seen Chinese toys made better than some of this plumbing supplies in these manufactured homes, but I digress. Don't get me started on manufactured homes. So I didn't know it was leaking. You take a shower, and for the first week, I realized we're getting mold, and I couldn't figure out. I could smell it, couldn't figure it out. And because you can't hear it because it didn't leak until you turn on the shower, right? You can't hear the leak over the shower water. Till one day my son's taking a shower, I heard this little psst right in this wall, and I cut this hole out, right? And there, lo and behold, bam, a valve body on the shower head side was leaking right in here on the old one. Now this is a Moen, it's a good one. I got it installed, it works. I'm not too happy with the installation bracket that comes with the Moen. I think it's chintzy, but I managed to make it fit. The problem that you have with these Uponor, U-P-O-N-O-R, fittings is that inside these fittings, is, like I said, you have those seals, and those seals are not going to hold up, in my opinion. At least they didn't for me over a long period of time. So you can see where this one had been leaking here. You see. So anyway, when I put these on, they were leaking a little bit, and I tightened them down, and they stopped leaking. Well, that's when I put in the new faucet valve body. And it's been about 4 months, and what was happening is this is so weird, because it's a mixing body, that this stupid fitting wouldn't leak until the shower was on. So here we go again, right? Only this time I didn't have a hole, a crack in the valve body, right? It was just leaking through the fitting only when the shower was on. So, and I'm looking in here, and I couldn't see anything, and I looked down with a flashlight, and there you go, right? Bam. Well, this is clean. You should have seen it before. So the problem that you have is that those seals will wind up leaking on you, and you're going to have this kind of an issue going on. This is black mold. I've cleaned up fairly well. Drying this out right now. As soon as this is dry, I'm going to hit this up with concrobium, C-O-N-C-R-O-B-I-U-M. I'm going to saturate it with concrobium, which is a mold killer, and then I'm going to let it dry overnight. Tomorrow I will paint all of the exposed area, wood in here and wall, with Kills, with concrobium mixed in with it, with the Kills paint. And that'll knock this stuff down and seal it up, and it won't spread. And then I'll replace this piece here. Now what I'm going to do on this, for this piece, I was going to do a door, but you know what? I'm thinking I just might, I may do a vent. I don't know. I might close this up and do a vent down here. I'll put a vent in this wall anyway, just so that it air breathes, because these shower cavities can get some condensation, and you're going to get some condensation. Here's another problem. You get condensation on the cold water lines coming up into the valve bodies anyways, and if your wall's airtight, you're going to get mold in there, right? So that's something I'm going to have to resolve. So I want this wall to ventilate somewhat, so I'll tackle it tomorrow. I sit down and think about it. But back to the Uponor. Go ahead if you have that issue. Here's another tip. With the Uponor, you want to take and use some Teflon paste for potable water. And see how it says seals and lubricate? See, a lot of people forget about the lubrication effect. And when you're dealing with these conical seals, or any seal, actually, it's pretty beneficial to get that on there. So I took a pick, take a seal pick, right, to get the old seals out of the inside of the fitting, right? Pick them out from the back side. Don't scratch anything up. And then smear a bunch of, light coating of this on your new seal. Push it in. And you have to seat that seal inside the nut here, the copper nut or brass, whatever this is. And seat it in there really well so you can get a bite on your threads, and then put some on the threads, and then that'll lubricate everything. So when you're tightening it down, you're not tearing your seal. See, this is the biggest problem that I think a lot of plumbers are not aware of. You know, you start cranking down on these seals. Look at this one. That's the one that was leaking. Gee, I wonder why. You know, you start torquing down on these seals and there's no lubrication on them, and they do that. So anyway, there you have it. Hopefully that helps some people out. Go down and get you these conical seals for the Uponor fittings. You can get them. This is what I used. You can get them down at a plumbing store and replace your seals, and then lubricate them so that they don't get tore up when they're installed. See, they can get tore up when they're installed, and then they won't leak right away, but eventually, in my opinion, they get a little bit hard, and they'll eventually going to leak because they're not making a good seal. So anyway, hopefully that helps some people out with this Uponor stuff. So over and out.